Talent is vital to all organisations, in particular not-for-profits, who deal with not only employees but engaging volunteers in their workforce. It's important to understand what attracts volunteers and what engages volunteers. My colleague, Dr. Gina Chatelier, has dedicated a number of years to understanding and researching this phenomenon.
That's great, thanks Jonathan. Let me tell you a bit more about it. When thinking about attracting talent to your non-for-profit and looking at how to attract volunteers and workers, there's many different contexts and different factors to think about. For example, it's important to consider that this year, due to COVID-19, volunteering in WA has taken a large hit. 64% of volunteers have taken a step back from volunteering. Despite these numbers, 80% of volunteer-involving organizations are confident that they will be able to return to pre-COVID levels of activity, whereas some of their older volunteers are choosing not to return. When thinking more generally about the non-for-profit context, there's 52,000 charities across Australia. So this makes up 1.3 million employees and 2.9 million volunteers. So we have about a quarter of the people in non-for-profits are paid employees and about 75% volunteers. So how we attract them and engage them might differ depending on whether they're a paid or volunteer role. In volunteer organizations, 86% of them say that they need more volunteers. And 30% are saying that they were not able to engage the optimal amount because there were not enough suitable candidates or there was no means of locating them. On top of that, 12% claim internal barriers such as time constraints, and another 12% have limitations stemming from an inadequate funding base. So that is how the volunteer organizations are seeing this issue. From the perspective of potential volunteers, research suggests a disconnect between the volunteering roles that people are interested in and the roles that organizations are offering. Another barrier for volunteers are personal expenses, too much red tape, a lack of flexibility, and not hearing back from the volunteer involving organization quick enough. So that person ends up moving on, going to a different organization, or not volunteering at all. So some of the areas of opportunities here are using online methods of recruitment and volunteering, which are crucial for facilitating virtual volunteering as well as face-to-face volunteering. Promoting change in human resource management strategies could result in more efficient and effective use of available volunteer time, which is so limited. And another way is through informal volunteering. 33% of people who volunteer informally would like to hear more about more informal volunteering opportunities. So this is a place where non-for-profits can tap into a workforce of people who want to be engaged. So these are some of the common issues today in volunteering, not all of them, and not all the solutions. But if you'd like to hear more about how to attract people to your organization, as whether they be as a volunteer or as a worker, you can come to our event, From Volunteers to Workers, Attracting Talent for Non-for-Profits.
We hope that piqued your interest, and we look forward to seeing you on November 12th at Talenting.